Anna or Chris?
Well, good afternoon. Welcome to the Lehigh County Board of County Board of Director meeting. Today is Monday, 28th of July. The meeting is being held in the hybrid mode, either in person or people on call. Lisa, could you have a roll call for the Board of Directors?
Yeah. Roll call of the board, Amir Famili.
Here.
Jeff Morgan.
Here.
Ted Lyons. Linda Rosenfeld. Here. Norma Cusick.
Here.
Kevin Baker. Sean Ziller. From here. Thank you, Sean. Mark Gramis. Peter Tent.
Here.
All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 board members present, so we do have a quorum.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. The package for this meeting was sent in advance, either mail and also email, and also was posted on the website. Reviewing of the agenda, Lisa, do we need any changes to the agenda or any need for the executive session?
There are no changes today to the agenda and no executive sessions planned.
Great, thank you. Move on to the next topic on the approval of the last meeting minutes. Linda, would you please?
I move that the minutes be approved.
I'll second that.
So the motion was made by Linda, second by Norma. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Good. Any public comments on any item which is not on the agenda?
No, thank you, Amir.
Yep, no, thank you.
Thank you, Brian and Jennifer. So moving on the action items that we have for today, the first thing is the resolution 7-2025-1, approval of the suburban water division and suburban wastewater division tapping fee. It is in green papers and digital package 6 to 96.
All right, that's a big package. Ed, do you have introductory comments you'd like to make?
No, actually, every year we have Dave Bush come in to describe the changes to suburban wastewater tapping fees. Dave does a really good job of following the letter of the law that's written, staying objective and making sure that all of the data is accurate and can be defendable in the court of law if we need to. So with that, I will just say, Dave, you're welcome to go into your hour-and-a-half long presentation.
Thank you, Ed. I might be a little shorter than that. And once again, I'm going to start and assume that no one remembers anything from prior years or that we have individuals that are first time hearing this. So I'll give a brief overview. Tapping fees are basically a buy-in contribution by new customers to the system. The legislation that requires tapping fees be calculated in a certain procedure is currently Act 57 of 2003. So now for over 20 years, we've been doing tapping fees in this method. Prior to that, there was legislation from 1990, which was Acts 209 and 203 of 1990. Act 57 modified those requirements, and we have followed those requirements for the authority's tapping fees. The water and sewer approaches are identical with some very minor exceptions, which I will point out. First, I'm going to start talking about the larger of the two packets, which is the water tapping fee. And don't be worried about the length of the material here. Most of this is calculations. Okay. What really is worth reading, worth looking at, would be the first 6 pages of the report, which is the text that describes the tapping fee. Okay. On page 2 of that report, under table 1 for the water system, we have a summary of the calculations for the current calculation. The tapping fees are for all of the municipalities served or in the Central Lehigh Division. And separated out from that is the Arcadia West Division. We have done those calculations per the act. And basically what one does when doing a tapping fee is you determine the authority's cost to put a system into place. That system is broken down into capacity and distribution. Okay. We then look at the cost to construct those facilities, which includes all of the costs associated with that. Can be planning, design, physical construction, the engineering work associated with that can be incorporated into that. If any of the project is debt financed, debt financing needs to be subtracted. The current outstanding debt is subtracted out from the eligible costs to determine what the eligible costs in the calculation. And then we basically figure out the capacity of the system and divide that capacity into the eligible costs to come up with a cost per gallon. And then that per gallon amount is then utilized to calculate an amount per EDU. We have done that for both the water and sewer system. The summary of the current fees is on page 2, as I said, but then if you'll look to the first page after the text, after page 6, there is a more detailed summary with the breakdown of the individual fees. And we show what the new charges are that has been highlighted. And we also show what the change is between the calculations from last year and what the current fees have calculated out to be. We show the dollar difference and the percentage difference in regards to the water system, suburban water. The fees are less than 2% increase, with the exception of the Arcadia division, where that increase is 2.55%. The percentage shouldn't really be looked at as a relation to inflation. There are many moving parts in this calculation, which we are looking at any additions to the system that have occurred. We trend all of those costs to present dollars for all of the expenditures in the past. As I said, we subtract out any debt and any outstanding, as well as any capital contributions made to the authority to calculate these fees. But we have done that and provide the detail there on that exhibit right behind the text of the report. The remainder of the report are detailed calculations, and if you're really so inclined, all of the numbers are there. We show all of our calculations and how we develop these numbers. I will jump to the sewer system. There is a similar report that describes the various components of the tapping fee. In this case, it runs through page 5, and then the next page following page 5, table 1, in this report has that same breakdown of the calculations. That breakdown calculation shows the new charges again, which have been highlighted, and then the dollar change per EDU, as well as the percentage change. In this case, there is a little more changes on the various components. Here we are doing this on a system by system approach, because that is how we have those cost figures, and the capacities vary from the various components of the sewer system. Now, that was very brief, but here to answer any questions if anyone has any. I would be happy to address.
Any question from board member? These costs will be effective from August 1st. And these are posted on our website.
Our rate schedule, I have a draft of them ready to go with, that incorporates the new tapping fees. They'll be posted to our website and we'll share them with our municipalities as well, because some of these, especially on the sewer side, they kind of pass that through on the tapping fee or connection forms that we use.
Question, not so much about the calculations, but have we ever had any challenges to any of the tapping fees or anything lately? It's all been pretty smooth.
It's been pretty smooth. I think we're not so much challenges, but conversations are fairly routine on the new development side for example, a developer that is building pump stations or building main extensions as part of their development. How does that apply to the tapping fee? So that's fairly well covered in our main extension policy, but a lot of times that's a conversation piece.
And then just to follow up that, so when people come in, they don't have any questions or concerns about the Sand Spring rate?
Well, we don't have new connections there.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Same thing with Wynwood, although I guess we might have some new connections there if that project goes through.
Yeah. Any other question from board member? Kevin, you mind
Certainly.
say the resolution, please?
So this is a resolution. It's resolution number 7-2025-1. Establishing the various components of the Lehigh County Authority's capital recovery fees for various suburban division water systems and the capital recovery fees for the various suburban division wastewater systems, authorizing it pursuant to the Municipal Authorities Act and attaching the various rates for the systems.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for the motion.
So moved.
I'll second that. This is Norma.
Thank you. So the motion was by Linda and second by Norma. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution passed. Thank you. Thank you. Nice to see you again.
Thank you.
Your annual visit to the board.
Happy to be here and I. will
Nice to have you here.
See
Thank
you
you.
next year.
Making the job easier for our team. Thank you again. Appreciate that. Moving to next item on the agenda on the wastewater is Allentown, for the Allentown Division, Clyde Island wastewater treatment plant. Architectural structural upgrade. It's on the pink package, papers. The board package 97 to 101.
Okay, thank you, so, Amir. Anton Siegman is going to present this one. He's our newest project manager in Capital Works. I'm just gonna introduce this project. So this project is, as required by the LCA's financing for the initial concession lease with the city, the trust company requires that we have an annual consulting engineers report prepared that details the condition of all the physical assets, buildings, structures, roofs, that sort of thing. So our engineer, we've had Arcadis provide this annual report, and it details those conditions and recommendations for maintaining the assets and keeping, upkeep of the assets. So this project is another one of those annual projects. This one is at the wastewater plant, and it's as a result of the latest consulting engineers report. So with that, I'll turn it over to Anton.
Thank you. Yeah, so this project is to address structural deficiencies on the rock media trickling filter. There's a low concrete wall that borders it. It's damaged in a bunch of areas around it. There's a sidewalk also that goes around. And this project will address those deficiencies. Some is just crack repair and sealing. Some small segments of the wall and other places are getting completely replaced. So for this request for authorization, we have the construction management services from CHA Consulting. In March of 2025, they did the design and bid phase. They've done a lot of these projects with us previously, selected them based on their experience. And for this authorization, we're requesting their services for now that bids have come in to manage the construction of that project. The bids went out and we initiated the bids, but they were received in, I think it was the 11th of July. Mar Allen Concrete was the lowest responsive bidder. LB Industries was the only other bidder. Mar Allen completed the previous indenture projects with us. So they have performed satisfactorily in the past. So we'll seek to award them this job. Assuming authorization today, construction should begin in September of 2025 and be completed early 2026. Don't see any future authorizations. You can see on our request form, CHA's consulting fee for $35,000, Mar Allen's bid for $285,826, $20,000 in staff time, $25,000 contingency, total this authorization of a little over $365,000.
If I could just add a clarification, there will be additional authorizations, but it won't be to repair the trickling filter, the rock media walls. The rock media unit process is from the 1930s. It contains still the rocks have never been emptied. The rocks have a slime over them that's used to biologically treat the waste after the waste goes through the primary clarifiers and the plastic media trickling filters. Then it flows through the intermediate settling tanks and then the rock media. So the rock media spray the wastewater, and that spray over the years with the aerosols and everything, it just degrades the concrete. And that's why after 90 plus years, we're going to fix some concrete. So that, anyway, that's my 2 cents.
All the concrete will last 90 years. My driveway cracked after 5 years.
They built it well back then.
Yes. Any question from the board member?
Just one question. So I think I read there was a pre-bid meeting. Was there more turnout at the pre-bid meeting? You only had like 2 bids.
I was not at the pre-bid meeting, Jeff. I don't know.
Yeah, I can answer that. There was no one came out for the pre-bid meeting, which was unfortunate. We did extend bidding and made the attendance of that pre-bid meeting not mandatory. And CHA did reach out to ask they saw who viewed the documents and asked them, you know, what they were thinking and encourage them to go forward with it. So yeah, we did only get the two bids.
Yeah, a lot of contractors viewed it on pen bid, but for some reason the project was not of interest to them, or maybe too specialized or whatever. I mean, it's basically, it's kind of like piecemeal work. You just go around the tank and then replace a section wall here, add something here, different repair techniques going around all the tanks. And the contractor that did get it did prior work with us. They're good. They specialize in concrete. The other contractor that bid, they would have been qualified as well. But yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get more bids on this project.
Our, our assumption was because it's repair work, there's not a lot of material to mark up. It's mostly labor, so that was kind of our guess as to why there wasn't a lot of interest in it.
Any other question? From the board member? Does temperature impact, because you're trying to do the work in October of next year? Is temperature impact the curing rate of concrete and all that? Is that the proper months to do that things, or is it better to do in a warmer?
They have monies in there for heating to be able to maintain the right temperature.
And likewise, if it's too hot, there's a maximum temperature coming out of the truck
Right.
that we're gonna have an inspector on the job. You can't, and I forget what that temperature is. I think it's close to 80 degrees that you can, the concrete's bad. You don't want to use it after that because workability is impaired. And your ultimate strength would be impaired. So
Yeah.
yes, there are definitely temperature
Okay.
concerns.
Okay. So, seeking approval for Allentown Division, Klein Island wastewater treatment plant, architectural and structural upgrade for the amount of $365,826.
Make that motion.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Motion made by Peter, second by Jeff. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passed. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're the first time to their board,
It
is
is,
that
yeah.
right? Okay, it's a pleasure having
You
you.
didn't get beat up too bad. There's always next.
It's a simple one.
Well, welcome aboard.
you.
Glad to have you on board. The monthly financial, is gonna be distributed at a later date, so is that correct?
Yes, we are a little bit behind due to all the stuff that we had to do to get converted from old system to new system. And we're struggling a little bit getting everything to balance. So I don't want to come here with data that might be a little bit inaccurate. So we're gonna get it right and then get it to you.
Part of the game of the new system, so. Yeah.
Yeah,
You all have to go through that, you know, so it's only that, you know. Moving to the next item, monthly system, operation overview.
Yeah. Feels weird giving this report when there's not a bunch of numbers, 15 minutes ahead of it.
Something might pay attention to what you're saying.
Might be a struggle.
Go ahead, Andrew.
So in front of you, you do have the June 2025 report. Starting out on page 1, any of the safety incidents that we incurred over the month. There was one recordable, which was when a tube fell off one of the hydro excavators and an employee tried to grab it and hyperextended his elbow. And the other 2 were vehicle incidents. Both were not at fault of LCA employees. One was a parked car that was hit, and the second one, an employee was rear-ended.
And how is the employee doing?
They're both fine.
Fine.
Yeah. Well, I guess I should say the one on injury, he's still out.
Okay.
But the vehicle incidents, they're.
Thank you.
Moving on to, I guess, page 3 now. Water production and wastewater are both fairly normal for June. We do experience a little bit more water production in summer months. Same with the wastewater, especially with some of the rain that we got. We did get 3.26 inches, which is not a drastic amount, but enough to keep up those wastewater flows. Moving on down to SSOs, we did have one SSO. That was on June 2nd, right by Elm Street. And that was due to a blockage of grease and rags. And then we also did have one bypass at Klein's Island. That was on June 9th, not related to a wet weather event. We had an issue with the mechanical bar screen. It looks like it faulted. So the arms were not removing any of the debris that was held up. We'll say that it was operator error. There were alarms that went off during that event, which were not responded to in enough time. So a bypass was or did occur, and that was around 89,281 gallons. That bypass did occur for almost 1 hour. On to the last page. We went over the bypass in Allentown and SSO. The only other exceedances there were 3 at Sand Spring. 2 of them were related to ammonia, the concentration and the monthly loading. And then the last one was total nitrogen, which relates to the ammonia violation. I will say that things turned around greatly towards the end of June. When I had this conversation for the July report, I would expect to see hopefully none. Everything's looking very good for this month going into August. Now that the warm weather has really picked up and the microbes are sort of in full speed. I'm hoping, knock on wood, that we're good for at least the next few months and start to see the wet or the cold weather again. And water compliance, there was no boil water advisories in June. Be happy to answer any questions for anything that I discussed.
Any question?
Yeah, I have a question about, so going to the SSO, just, you have a list of areas that jet trucks out, every day doing different areas of the sewer system, or is there, I assume there's preventative maintenance, and did this occur in one of those areas, or was this somewhere it just randomly popped up and maybe needs to be on the list?
Saw Chris on mute, so I'm gonna let him feel.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, Jeff, we do have a daily, weekly, monthly kind of PM schedule. And this one was off our monthly schedule. So the intent is to kind of bump it up into the weekly schedule and do some extra monitoring on it.
Any other
You guys-
questions?
Go ahead.
No, I said thank you. Great. Thanks for the answer.
Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate that. Any staff comment?
And nothing additional today.
Thank you, Lisa. Solicitor comment.
No comments, thank you.
Thank you. Any public comment?
No, thank you.
Yep, no comment. Thank you.
All right, thanks to be here. Any board member comment?
I just have one comment.
Go ahead, Sean.
Go ahead, Sean.
Yep, one comment or question, and if there's no answer this meeting, that's fine. Lisa, the follow-up to the, oh man, time has been flown by. The gentleman who came last month representing the property owner, maybe I missed it from last meeting or the meeting before. Was there an update there?
We do not have an update. We've
Okay.
been doing some internal investigation of the claims made at that meeting.
Okay.
That have not received anything from him either in
Okay.
terms of the documentation. So,
Thank you.
Okay.
I had the same question. So that was easy.
Okay. If there is no other thing, the meeting is adjourned. You guys have a great week.
thank you.
Thank you. Take care.